Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So, is an iPhone better than a DSLR camera? Well, let's consider something here. Is the iPhone 11 better than a DSLR camera? Now, I do have an iPhone 12 mini, not an 11. However, I've been doing research on DSLR cameras versus, well, my iPhone 12 mini, for example, that has dual 4K cameras. And, of course, I have a single 4K camera in my iPad Air 4. Okay? Now, there's an article here when I did some Google searching that came up with, is the iPhone 11 better than a DSLR? Okay, so second iPhone 11 Pro camera test concludes close to DSLR results. We yesterday reported on an iPhone 11 Pro camera test which pitted Apple's flagship iPhone against a $7,500 Canon 1DX Mark II DSLR. Now, this is also a 6K camera. Okay, it has 6K resolution. All right. Now, YouTuber Maddie, I can't pronounce their last name, concluded that the iPhone's performance was scarily close to that of a high-end DSLR. Now, there's even higher-end cameras out there than that. I mean, Sony has the Alpha 1, and you can buy just the body with no lenses for like $8,500. Okay, that's flippin' expensive. I've been considering, of course, a better camera for my YouTube videos because, you know, that does make a difference in how long somebody will pay attention and watch a video for, that's for sure. So I've been trying other efforts in order to increase my camera quality, one of which was I finally set this thing up, found out it was on standard def instead of Ultra HD, which made a huge difference in video quality. Of course, like all cameras, even a DSLR is dependent on light sourcing. Now, of course, the better your camera lenses are, the better everything is. Of course, lighting will be affected in different ways. Some cameras are more affected than others. This one is seriously affected by light, whereas something like the 12 mini is not as effective as easily as my camcorder is. So I can get better quality shoots on this even in 1080p than I can on my Ultra HD 1080p camera. So I'm kind of thinking about this. So a few days back I did a video for you guys, and I actually shot it on my iPad Air. And I used the internal microphones too, but I wasn't doing a music video, so. But either way, 4K camera in this thing. I processed the video through DaVinci Resolve, and I, of course, saved it as a 4K format, and then I compressed it down to 1080p, which allowed me to save on my upload space. So you can view it in 1080p, not in actual 4K, but it was shot in 4K either way, so it makes 1080p look even more awesome. And besides, the majority of people watching videos on YouTube are not watching your footage in 4K or 2K or whatever. They're watching it in 1080p because the majority of people that own computers, their computers can't go past 1080p on their screens anyways, especially desktop systems. Okay, other than people like serious gamers, they buy, you know, 2K and 4K displays because they can't get 5 anyway. Mac people, well, we can get 5K without an issue. But
sorry, could you say that again?
Gotta love Siri. Anyways, so I got to thinking, well, I really want to invest into the channel with a really good camera, but do I really need a DSLR? I mean, there are advantages to a DSLR, don't get me wrong. You've got, of course, zoomable lenses. You got a variety of different lenses you can use to really zoom up and do manual focusing really well and all that sort of stuff. I mean, there are great advantages to a DSLR, mainly for taking pictures though. You're not zooming in from 1,000 feet away with a camera for shooting a full motion video, okay? At least not YouTubers anyways. So, but we're not movie studios here that are making movies like, you know, National Treasure or, you know, The Rock or Need for Speed movies type of thing. Well, that's not what YouTubers are doing. We're doing different types of content, right? So do we really need DSLR cameras? Well, I guess it depends on the channel and what you're doing on your channel, if you actually needed one or not. But I would probably say that the majority of us really don't. And these iPhones are extremely powerful. And of course, this is the new flagship, is the 12s, right? So, but if a second iPhone 11 Pro can come that close to a 6K level resolution DSLR that costs $7,500, why? I don't get it. Like, why not just use your iPhone or your iPad? I mean, a lot of iPads now have 4K cameras. And of course, iPhones have had them for quite a while. So I'm kind of thinking, well, if I'm going to invest in my channel for better video, I don't need to, because I already have it. Now, this phone in Canada cost me around $1,500, somewhere around there. It was nuts. My iPad cost me under $1,000, and it's got a 4K camera in it. Now, here's the thing. If you need better audio, well, DSLR cameras, you have to buy better mics, right? Okay? Well, here's something for you. I know it's going to rattle. This is my new Shure microphone. Now, this I've got attached to my PC currently, and I've used it on my Mac as well. And it has a micro USB port for the USB part, and it goes to standard USB to the computer. It also came with a cable specific for Apple that is micro USB to Lightning. Now, you can either get an adapter or you can get a whole new cable that's micro USB to Type-C for your iPad that has Type-C connection, because the iPhones still have Lightning ports. So I can hook my microphone up to either one of those and get not only an outstanding 4K picture, but I can also get really severely increased great audio. Because let's face it, the microphones that come in phones, period, generally suck. It's kind of like Macintosh computers. Forever, the microphones always sucked until now. With the new M1 processor Macs that came out last year, and the new ones that are out now, and the next new generation that'll be out in mid to fall 2022, the microphones are really super good. I mean, they're really good. So, but anyway, so I got to thinking, let's look up this information and bring that to you guys. Now, in my opinion, if you're a YouTuber with a variety-based channel, or you do just one single kind of content and that's all you're about, that's fine. We all have our different things we like to do. But if you don't have the requirement for all these different lenses and zooming in on massive stuff and whatnot, do you really need a DSLR camera? No. You need an iPhone, or you need an iPad Air 4, or something, you know, even an iPad Pro, okay, with 4K cameras, and your videos are going to be great. Your pictures are going to be really great, okay? But if you're nothing but a picture taker, and you're putting that kind of content up on YouTube, or even for yourself even, I think a DSLR camera is an advantage for picture taking, because they do put out some very superior photos. But when it comes to the whole movie side of things, where you're shooting film kind of deal, right, then I'm not sure if a DSLR is going to be your best option. You know, and there's another reason for this too. Even for doing stuff on 4K on iPhones and iPads, I mean, look at it this way. The majority of viewers out there are not watching your content in the 4K format, okay? The simple reason is we know that statistically and in market areas, the PC sells a lot more systems than Apple does, okay? I have no problem admitting that, and I'm an Apple fanatic, okay? So PCs are limited on resolution, okay? So unless you're a serious gamer buying, you know, 4K laptops, or you've got a tower at home with a, you know, 2 to 4K display, you're not going to be able to see that content for what it is, because you're going to be stuck at 1080p. In fact, the majority of laptops in the PC market being sold are fixed at 1080p resolution. That's it. So even though you can select a higher resolution on the YouTube screen of that video, you don't get to actually see it in that reality because you only have 1080p. Okay? And if you set your screen resolution lower than 4K, you can't view it in 4K until you set your resolution to 4K, and we're talking real 4K. All right? We're not talking dummied 4K. I've done the dummy act on my own computer for you guys, and believe me, it ain't the same. All right? And PCs, of course, cannot use 5K displays. Nobody makes them. And for a very good reason. It's because of the cost expense of the hardware and to do it. Like the video card would be astronomical alone, never mind the 5K display. But no companies produce 5K displays for PCs. It's just too costly. Nobody would buy the stuff, you know. However, we do have 5K displays on Macs, and we can run 6K displays and higher on Macs. It's not a big issue for us, okay? In fact, I have a 5K Retina display Mac, and I can actually run Windows on my Mac in real time with real 5K resolution settings on the screen as well as on my games. So that's an advantage to me because I'm doing this all on a Macintosh computer. So that gives me the allowability that if I want to watch somebody's 4K shot video in real 4K, I can do that on my Mac. But if I want to be on my PC, I have 2K hardware and 2K display. So actually, I think my hardware can actually go to 4, but my screen can only go to 2. But I can only watch 2K and experience 2K on a YouTube video. I can't experience the 4K richness on a 2K display on my PC because my display is limited in real time to 2K. I can fake 5K, but it's fake, right? Yes, you can throw a 5K TV onto a PC. You're still going to need a really good graphics card to handle it without burning it up. 2, you're still not going to get real 5K picture on a 5K or 8K TV. It's just not going to happen. Okay, the reality is just that. That's a whole other video though. So, what's better, an iPhone or a DSLR camera? Well, unless it's real specialty stuff that you're doing and you really do require those really super high-end lenses and stuff, then I'm going to go with all you need is an iPhone with a 4K camera or an iPad with a 4K camera, and you can shoot whatever you want and put out fantastic content on YouTube that the majority of the world isn't even going to be able to experience anyways because the device limitations. So even iPhones and iPads only have a certain resolution that they can max out to. So even if you're trying to watch 4K content on an iPhone, unless the iPhone that you have has a 4K resolution capability, you're not experiencing the real 4K picture, okay? So why not just reduce it to 1080p or whatever your resolution of your device is and watch it in that, and you save on a lot of data too at the same time and less chance of buffering. So that's where I'm at with this one. So my books, at least for my channel for sure, I'm gonna say from this point on, yes, I will still continue to use this in Ultra HD mode, and I will either use this or my iPad to still cut 4K footage or even better 1080p footage. Either way, I will still be compressing the videos down so they can go 1080p, and there will be still some at 720p. It depends on the time of the month and how our data is being used each month, what I'm going to be able to get away with. But I do promise this, and that's that we are definitely going to improve things as much as possible on this channel, at least, with the video quality as far as the picture goes. We'll increase the sound quality, of course, by using the microphone on these devices when required for whatever video I happen to be doing. And we'll just continue going along as always. So thanks so much for watching. And you know, like I said, it's kind of up to you where you go with it, but look up the advantages and disadvantages. I did do a Google search and just typed in what's the advantage and disadvantage of DSLR cameras, and I also found a thing that I came across on that iPhone 11 um, write up as well, and that really impressed me that an iPhone 11 Pro was that close in quality to a $7,500 6K capable DSLR camera. That is really sickening. Like, an iPhone almost beat it to death. You know, like, that was crazy. Anyways, thanks and see ya.